This video is the new MusicDoll Blender plugin operation demonstration video. We'll start with an original MMD character, Wendy. Ultimately, it becomes a perfect guitarist who can play MIDI music. Support for fast copy instance functionality. You can use multiple players in the same file without conflicting with each other. The actual operation time of the whole operation is 1 hour and 40 minutes. Start by finding and opening the original file. Wendy was a character used in the early development of FretDance, but I've never used him to make a video. In this early version of the FretDance file, full of various historical versions of controls, auxiliary bone, recorder, there are also various auxiliary direction lines. You don't need so much complexity anymore. So I'm just going to get rid of them. Next, we set the unit size to 0.01. If you need to export characters to other software, like Unreal, this is necessary. Next, we need to set the right size for the characters. I need to check Wendy's height. Height, 1.62 meters. It's set. Apply the scaling. Now you can use the MusicDoll Blender plugin to create a player instance. The concept of the player instance comes from Unreal. It turns out that every musician in the Blender plugin, because the controls all have the same name, when multiple players appear in the same Blender file, control conflicts are inevitable. And in Unreal, because separated by the MusicDoll instance, data on different players. At the same time, through the control rig instance, to isolate controls with the same name. Avoid these name conflicts. So based on these concepts, I rewrote the MusicDoll Blender plugin. Each player has their own collection and have their own independent control system with suffix names. This solves a problem in the original blend. This allows multiple players to play in, appear in the same file. Can be like an Unreal project file. We cram a dozen musicians into a scene. However, I now find that I can't believe there are no strings on this guitar. So I have to make the guitar strings first. Create an empty object first. Locate the head and tail of each string. Okay, the head and tail positions are all taken care of, but the little tool for generating guitar strings belongs to FretDance. So I still have to create one first. MusicDoll instance can only use it. You need to select the type of instrument here. I choose guitar. Created successfully. Go find gadgets. Select the generate string shape key tool. Then make all 6 strings. Check if the shape key is correct. The amplitude doesn't seem large enough, but let's do it first. Then adjust the thickness of each string. Combine all the strings into one object. Then rename. Manually change the name. Pay attention to the suffix. Must be consistent with the player's name. Insert the renamed object into the target instrument. I'm used to only putting the shape key part is set as the target instrument. The guitar body is a separate object. This avoids generating too much data while animating. The next step is to set the path where the character data is saved. You can now generate a new control system for characters. Outside the player directory, old controls and guides, it can be cleaned up now. The part of the body without the shape key also moved to the musical instrument directory. Next, we deal with the 2 roots of the control architecture. Controller root is bound to the player. for the guitarist, usually bound to the upper sternum. The other controller root offset is a subset of the former. Default relative position and rotation should be returned to 0. Both roots are set. Now, bind the guitar to the controller root offset so the guitar will move with the person. The next step is to examine and repair the hierarchy of bones. Make sure the arm, palm, and finger levels are correct. There are many formerly homemade MCH bones. It's useless now. Clean it up. Continue to examine and repair the skeletal hierarchy. Now repair finger bones with gadgets. This is to ensure that the finger is added after the IK constraint, the steps necessary to work correctly in the future. This Wendy's thumbs are not facing right. But considering he's not human, so just pretend nothing happened. Now let's add IK restraints for both arms. You should also add a rotation constraint to the palm. Now add a radial rotation constraint to the arm. Next up are the IK restraints for each finger. Something is wrong with this thumb. It looks weird. Forget it, it's hidden behind the neck, usually not seen. Now let's do the first left-handed pose. Adjust the palm position and rotation first, then adjust the finger position. The last part is to adjust the direction of bending the arm. When adjusting the arm, look from the back of the palm. Make sure the forearm bones point towards the middle of the four fingers. Next, add a finger IK to the right hand. Now place the first left hand type, low position, hand type, the The point is to put your thumb on the lowest string, and the fingers are naturally relaxed. No need to get too close to the string. And then the high position hand. The thumb should be placed in the middle of several strings, and except for the little finger, fingers should be plucked to be placed on the string playing. And finally, the end position hand. That's the end of the sweep hand. Just relax naturally. Next, we place all the other left-handed poses. By the way, put the fingerboard in the middle. 5 key points on, and that takes a lot of time. Let's listen to a little tune. Low, low. All laid out. Export the character information. The next step is to add new characters to the FretDance Rust side. Gotta go take a ID photo for Wendy. Okay, register Wendy now. Now find a tune to start testing. I'll tell you why the sounds don't match the movements. It turns out that the music started wrong. So I'm going to demonstrate the copy player feature. It will replicate the entire control system. The copied characters do not conflict with the original characters at all. Looks a little wrong. Change the target of the armature constraint. There are still problems in other locations. You have to find the reason for this. I already know why. Blender's classic bug. When CTRL plus P changes the parent, the transforms of the objects are not properly synchronized. And this object is copied. The problem is exposed. Fix it in the safest way. Ensure that the object is transformed, is a true local transform. It's fixed. Try recopying the character. No big problem. But the face of the person IK has changed due to displacement. The principle here is not very clear, but let's adjust it manually. Let's test two Wendy's at the same time. The IK orientation of the finger also changes. Okay, the whole process display is over. Thanks for watching. See you next time.